Good morning and welcome to Studio 5 going live, day 14 of the Studio 5 online summer exhibition. Today we're going to be looking at something a little more sort of, how can I put this, ordinary. Sketchbooks and notebooks. For me they're very important and do form a core module of the Studio 5 introduction to bookbinding. And we look at all sorts of case bindings and Bradel bindings, full leather bindings, etc, etc, etc. I digress and I do apologise for that. The beautiful thing about a sketchbook or a notebook is, well, let me just tell you a little bit of a story, if I may. Before lockdown, I was invited to a meeting of designers and other creatives to talk through a project which unfortunately now has had to be put on hold. And we all sat down, they all brought out their black books with a bit of elastic wrap round it, and it was more than obvious that these were the badges that they had to say, hey look, I'm a creative, I've got a black book with some elastic wrap round it. I whacked mine out and slapped it down on the table, and of course it was different, it was unique, and it actually did say, I'm not a badge person, I am unique. After a little bit of, oh, that's nice, where did you get that from? I convinced them that I did actually make sketchbooks and notebooks. And it set my mind thinking, you know, just with a little bit of thought, and yes, maybe a little bit more cost, you can actually have a notebook or a sketchbook that reflects you and not a company. Anyway, back onto the thing. What we're looking at here is a series of different books that are sort of made, and just very quickly go through these, is rounded backed quarter leather books, traditional sort of printed paper, but we also look at decorating our own paper and things like that. And so again, you know, with the flottage technique, which I teach and use myself, no two books are exactly the same. Again, this is one of the beauties of the handmade, the allure of the handmade book, shall we say. Anyway, what we're going to be looking at is one of my more, so shall we say, more individualistic notebooks. And bear with me 1 second while I do a little bit of rearranging. This is exciting, isn't it? And I hope that is in. Yes, look at that. There we go. This, well, like any of the work that we've seen during the exhibition, if you're interested or want any more information, please don't hesitate to contact me. What we're looking at here is what I refer to as a interesting sketchbook, notebook, in that it's a disappearing spine, leather spine, Bradel binding. The leather has been hand coloured and ruched to produce these beautiful sort of what's the phrase I'm looking for? Yeah, sort of well, it's ruching, isn't it? These sort of pleats in the leather and everything else. Really quite fantastic. Now, with the covering material, that was started out as an ordinary plain white book cloth, which I then printed onto, stenciled onto, sprayed onto, and obviously did a little bit of collage work. And again, this makes for a very individual way of working. The measurements for this particular book are 21.2 centimetres by 15.8 centimetres by 2.5 centimetres when closed. Again, we've got a little bit of collage work to the front board. And again, as we saw with a Clockwork Orange, the title, which is punked, starts on the spine and traverses onto the front board. The paper I've used in it is 130 GSM cartridge paper, acid-free, and it's a beautiful paper to write on, actually. It takes ink, crayon, wax crayon, the lot, everything. It's section sewn with tipped on end papers, rounded back secondary sewing, very simply done, nice and simple on the inside. You know, things don't have to be complicated all the time, though I suppose if we're looking at this particular binding, it would appear to be complicated. But I think this is one of the unique beauties of having a, you know, a handmade, unique sketchbook. It does say, yeah, this is me. Anyway, thank you all very, very much indeed. This has been a pretty short going live, but I hope you enjoyed looking at Punked and the other sketchbooks. The exhibition will be continuing for a few more days. We're going to have some new and exciting work to be seeing as well. I'd like to thank everybody for their patience, and please Have a lovely, lovely, fantastic day. Remember, wear protection, follow sensible advice, and really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you all very, very much indeed, everybody. Bye-bye.